everybody, welcome back to the third installment to this vlog series, and I think this is where I'm going to wrap up for the readathon. Last time I checked in, it was the tail end of part 2, and I said I finished Living Ghosts and Mischievous Monsters, and I had plans on quitting Forest of a Thousand Lanterns and picking something else up for that. And then I was doing the Dewey readathon. During the Dewey readathon, I picked up Stinetinglers by RL Stine, and I finished this within the 24-hour period. So the prompt for read a middle grade novel and read something at night, those two prompts are now completed. I misunderstood what this was. I saw the back and thought it was a collection of these 3 stories in particular in this book. But no, it is a collection of stories. There's quite a few in here. It's not just 3. I want to say there's like 10 in here. Hold on a second. Yep, there's about 10 in here, and they're just different various stories. And before each one, he said he would write a little paragraph on what inspired that particular story. Some of them really raised the hair on the back of my neck, the rest not so much. And so I'm rating it 3 out of 5 stars. Another book that I started doing the Dewey's 24 readathon is The Only Good Indians. I wanted to read this for this book club I want to be a part of. I feel like I should make some more friends. Like, I still have friends that I get to see occasionally, but these are friends that I made while I was in school, and I only occasionally get to see them, and I feel like I only have work friends. It's just, I feel like I could use more socializing. Maybe not necessarily need more friends, but definitely need to socialize more. So I joined this book club in hopes of doing that, and this is this month's read. And this will count towards the... I'm trying to think of the name of it. Buddy read. It's going to count towards the buddy read prompt. It's funny, when I started it this weekend, I thought I had a whole week to read it, but no, actually, my book club meets tomorrow. I'm not overly concerned about it. I've been listening to it through Libby, and thankfully, because I was listening to it while I was shelving and doing other stuff in the stacks, I'm only like this much. I only have that much left of it, and so I'd be very surprised if I don't finish by my book club. My book club is tomorrow around like 7 p.m. So I feel like I got plenty of time to read the 40 pages. And this started off strong for me. I don't think I'm going to rate it super highly anymore. Like, at first I was like, wow, this is incredibly creepy. So the story follows like these 4 guys. And basically they're hunting where they weren't supposed to on their reservation, and they killed a bunch of elk. And they got caught doing it. Their elders were like, all right, you've been banned from hunting on the reservation. You can't do it anymore. And they kind of like moved on from that. And the spirit of this one elk that they killed, this was a young elk that was pregnant. And of course they killed it. And one of the guys tried really respecting her remains, but it didn't do anything to really dampen this like really vengeful spirit. And so this elk spirit starts inhabiting different people. It definitely inhabits one person. I don't know, the ability of this particular spirit to be able to manifest itself in the world is a little, I don't quite understand it. I want to say, see, now I'm actually recalling the beginning now. Basically, this elk spirit was just in the shape of an elk until eventually starts inhabiting people. The mythos is a little hard to follow, if you can tell, at least for me anyways. And I think it's because I was listening to it as an audiobook. You tend to like miss things here and there when you do that. But the beginning was incredibly creepy. I was like, oh my God. Especially one of the deaths that happens in the book. My jaw just dropped. But now we've gotten towards the end where I think the spirit isn't as subtle anymore, or isn't as like devious, I think is the word. Cunning. It's almost like the spirit is losing patience. And although it makes sense, I'm not into it. So I think I might rate this 3.5 not 3.5, like 3 out of 5 stars, but we'll see once I get through the last 40 pages. That's all the reading I've done. My husband and I carved some pumpkins this weekend as well. It's an activity that I look forward to every year, and I'm a little disappointed in this year. I had in mind to do this cute little witchy Eeyore, not realizing that there was a lot of fine lines that I just didn't have the patience for. And while I was putting the stencil on, I guess it moved at one point and it just didn't line up anymore. And so I eventually just gave up on it and did a simple face. The face still looked good, it just wasn't what I wanted to do. So I am a little disappointed in how that came out, but you know, there's always next year, and they look fine. In spirit of this readathon, I don't think my husband meant to do this, but he did Chucky. He carved out Chucky, and that looked really good. But yeah, my phone is dying, so this is it for a quick little intro for this vlog. I'm going to charge my phone, and I'm actually going to do some skincare. I don't know if you can see. I'm also wearing makeup to try to hide it. I broke out in this weird rash. And we're going to see if we can, you know, soothe it down a little bit. But I guess I'll talk to you guys later. She looks rough. Can I just say thank God for makeup? Oh, man. I don't know why my chin did that. I mean, I have actually a vague collection of why my chin did that. Oh, man. That looks painful. Thankfully, it's not. Good morning, everybody. We're back again for another shift at the small branch. I can't tell you how swamped I've been since the last time I checked in, which is why I haven't checked in. It's Saturday morning. We got a couple days left of this readathon, and I've just been inundated with stuff I need to do. And it's my own fault, my own poor, you know, planning. Anyways, last time I checked in, I had this weird rash going on my face. As you can see, we're back to our former glory. But man, when I say I am a proud creature, I am a proud creature, because for the first day or two afterwards, it was just bad, and I just had to wear a full face just for my own peace of mind. Granted, I could have just gone out and about with it, and I just could have just worn a face mask, but I knew I would be taking it off at least an hour for lunch, and I didn't want whoever I was working with seeing it. It's just my ego. That's all that was, my ego. But we're back to normal, at least as much as we can, which is great because I have a wedding this weekend, at least a wedding to go to this weekend. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I've read a couple of things since checking in. I finished The Only Good Indians. That was a book club book that a coworker of mine is actually hosting this book club. She's a reference librarian, and that's one of her extra tasks that she needs to do. And I was like, you know what? It's sci-fi and fantasy book club. I definitely want to be a part of it. I really enjoy your company anyways, and I think it would be a great time. And I get to meet more people. It's a way for me to be sociable. So I definitely started going, and I finished it. I thought I had more time to read it. For some reason, I thought Halloween was Tuesday, not Monday. And this book club is on the last Tuesday of every month. And I was like, oh, I have plenty of time to read it. I did not. And so thankfully I was able to get the e-audiobook. I got it through Libby. I had it playing at 1.5 speed, but I got it done. We finished it. I didn't love it. It started off so strong. When I last checked in, I'm pretty sure I was saying that it was really lagging and lulling, and it got a little better by the end, but I think I'm still gonna rate it 3 out of 5 stars, because as much as the beginning was great, I wasn't impressed with the ending. In fact, one of the guys had a daughter, and the elk woman went after the daughter as revenge for her lost calf, since she was pregnant when she was shot. And there was a basketball game to the death scene. The daughter's super into basketball and she's shooting hoops, and the elk woman challenges her to a game. And I don't know why that was incorporated. Why was that included? Also, I didn't think it was necessarily fair to go after the daughter, but I can see where the choices were, but at the same time I didn't. The author had said in an interview that he was super into slasher movies, and this was the final girl, and I was like, no, I see that. As I'm reading it, I totally see that he's into horror movies. But not gonna lie, that Space Jam scene took me all the way out. So again, 3 out of 5 stars. This is for the buddy read prompt, and there's another one that I'm having it count for. I think it's hold on, I'll be right back. So I'm having this count for the Slumber Party Massacre Buddy read prompt, and there's another one. Scream, a book that keeps you guessing, because this book certainly kept me guessing. So that counts for 2 prompts, and so at this point I've completed Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, Scream, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I Know What You Did Last... No, I didn't do that one yet. So at this point I've done all the prompts except for 2. I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is read a Backlist book, and Friday the 13th, read a book with a number in the title. Everything else I've completed. These are the last 2 prompts, and I'm going to have this last book count for these 2 prompts, and it's 1 to Buckle My Shoe by Agatha Christie. A mystery book, definitely fits the fall kind of aesthetic. I always want to read mystery or horror novels during the month of October, so definitely fits what I want to read. Clearly the title, Friday the 4th, Friday the 13th, 1 and 2, Buckle My Shoe. And this is an older book. This is a Backlist book, clearly, because Agatha Christie wrote it, what, the 30s, 40s? I don't know the date offhand. I'm sure I'll caption it in this video somewhere. So yeah, that one book will count for both of these prompts. I'm already halfway through it. I've been listening to it while I shelf read and shelve at the library. And it's a really short audiobook. It's 5 hours. And I also got the physical book as well. So I'd be very surprised if I didn't finish it by Halloween, but those are the last 2 prompts. I've also been doing the bingo card option for this. I know I haven't really been talking about it. I've been more like checking in on Instagram about that. And I think I finally have a line. For the longest time, I only had like a corner of the bingo card. And I think I finally have a line because The Only Good Indians was actually a book that technically my friend chose, and that completed the buddy read as well. So I think I finally have bingo. I had hoped to do like a completionist thing and complete the entire bingo card, but I don't see that happening, especially since I got a lot going for me this weekend. Clearly today I have my shift here, which I need to finish wrapping up very soon so I can get started. And then I'm going to visit my friend tonight. It was her birthday this week, and I would love to see her. She's one of my closest friends. I'm super excited to go see her tonight. Because she lives so far, I'm going to be spending the night. I'm going to take the train back in the morning, and then hopefully be back in time to get dressed for the wedding I need to go to. She lives in Gloucester, so I'm taking the train out to Gloucester, but I completely forgot. Like every year I forget. The line is on the... Salem is on that line, and I know it's gonna be super packed today because it's Saturday. It's the Saturday before Halloween. That line is going to be standing room only until Salem, and then I'll finally get a seat. But prepping for this weekend, once I realized what I was doing this weekend, I had a bunch of stuff I needed to do. Like I did my nails, which took me ages. I kept having to redo them because Thursday nights I went to this owl event at the library. It was so cool seeing all the different owls. Kids were a little too much for me, I think. I think they were a little overexcited about the owls, but you know what? Kids will be kids. You can't really necessarily control that. And I'm the jerk, not them. But seeing the owls were really cool. Excuse me. But I went specifically to get content for my library's TikTok. So that's what I'm doing today while I'm here. I brought my personal laptop so I could edit that video for the library. That was a longish event, and so when I got home, I then had to do all my usual weekend chores because I didn't want to have my nails done and then scrub my toilet and my tub. So my kitchen's cleaned. All my brushes are cleaned because, of course, I had a mountain of brushes to clean because I'm really terrible about doing that, and I wanted to clean brushes for when I do my makeup this weekend. Bathroom's clean. I tidied up my bedroom. I tidied up my living room, and then I sat down to my nails, and I kept messing them up. And so by 2 a.m., I finally was done. And we got all of that done. And last night I had seamed my dress that I had planned on wearing this weekend. And I was like, oh, I'll do some editing. I did not do that. I filmed some TikToks for my personal account, but I was so exhausted staying up till 2 a.m. and then having to get up for 6:30, 7 o'clock for my 9 a.m. shift the next day. So wasn't super productive last night, but we're hoping to make up for that tonight because I have a book tag. I have a Samhain themed book tag that I try to do every year. I didn't do it last year because I was just not posting videos last year, but I filmed it. I want to post it for Samhain. I also want to actually post a vlog before that. So I got a lot of editing to do. I got a lot of stuff to do before I go see my friend tonight. So that was a really long and convoluted update, but there it is. I'll check in with you guys later. Hi everybody, I'm actually currently editing this vlog, and I realized I never filmed an outro for this video. I had always intended like, oh, I'll do an outro as I'm editing and then it'll be easiest to put everything together. Only my mistake that while I was like editing all my vlogs, I just kept it all on my phone and didn't organize it. And when I started running out of space on my phone, I had just transferred everything over without really thinking about it. And everything got mixed up. I couldn't find certain clips. In fact, like when I tried finding one specific clip, I knew it was on my phone because I could see it, but it wasn't showing up on my computer. I have an iPhone, and so I was connecting my iPhone with a cord to my computer, and I was just like drag and dropping. But for some reason when I was doing that, I couldn't find all of my videos. So all my vlogs are shorter simply because I went, you know what, let's just at least find the most important bits and just cobble together what I can. It took ages to like really figure out how to fix the situation that I put myself in. So that's why all these videos were super delayed. And without further ado, let's end this vlog series and get ready for Vlogmas. So last time I updated you all, I was getting ready for a wedding. Well, I was at a shift at work talking about how busy I've been, and I was gonna like go see a friend and then go to a wedding right afterwards. And I ended up doing that. I had such a great time that weekend. And when I came back, I made sure to finish One to Buckle My Shoe by Agatha Christie. And I didn't really like it. It was okay. Agatha Christie, of course, writes, and she writes interesting books. And the mysteries that she cobbles together, they're believable. Just this one didn't necessarily grab me. Hercule Poirot is like, he goes to a dentist, has his appointment, and then mere hours later, his dentist apparently commits suicide. And he's like, I don't think this is suicide, because why would he just go about his like day to day like it's nothing? And he like starts investigating it, and it turns out that like other people are dropping like flies, and he thinks that they're associated with that. In the end, I actually thought the thinking process that our like villain does to try to hide his tracks, I thought was a little convoluted. So when the bad guy is finally revealed, I was like, oh, okay, I suppose that makes sense, but I didn't see it at all. And it could be because Agatha Christie wrote such a believable story, but I was like, where was all the, like, I don't think she left any crumbs. So I was like, so when it was finally revealed, I'm like, oh, okay, your motive's boring too, okay. Like any time period piece, it was about saving the person's reputation and like trying to get rid of a blackmailer. And I was like, well, that's boring. But I was very much enthralled, not enthralled, but it was easy enough to get into the world of Agatha Christie. So I think in the end, I rated this 3 out of 5 stars. It had been so long, I had to go into Goodreads. Yes, I did rate it 3 out of 5 stars. And honestly, I think I enjoyed it more simply because I was listening to it as an audiobook, and Hugh Fraser was narrating it, and I love Hugh Fraser. If you're not familiar with the TV show with David SaSuWeh plays Poirot, and Hugh Fraser kind of plays Poirot's like sidekick. So that same guy narrates this audiobook. And of course, there's a lot of nostalgia for me for this TV show. I remember watching it being, you know, super little when we still had one of those like ornamental TVs that sat on the floor, and I would sit on the floor and watch it. So the TV show is very nostalgic for me, so I enjoyed listening to him, but that's pretty much it. So I am rating this 3 out of 5 stars. All of the prompts are completed. I'm actually going to list all of them down in the description box below. I'm not going to go through all of them now. I want to list them all down in the description box below and like what book was associated with each prompt, but they're all completed. I got bingo twice on the bingo card. I thought only when I updated you guys last time, I thought it was only one time, but I got 2 lines that we got bingo twice, even though I didn't complete it. And we did our best, and we did it. We won the game, as it were. But I'm really glad this is all settled and figured out. Now I know what not to do while I'm doing Vlogmas. So that is now my next task, trying to figure out Vlogmas content now that I'm just going by the seat of my pants. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you had a great Halloween. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I guess it's ta-ta for now. Bye, guys.